All right, I did cheat and take her for a little ride. She does run. She smokes a little bit just from the engine oil burning off from sitting. As you can tell, the paint on this car is butchered. It's been sitting underneath a maple tree for years and years and years. This is after I pressure washed it when I first got the car, when I was still over at my buddy's. It's a pretty rough shape, but we're gonna experiment, give it the Comet wash, and I'm gonna use a piece of Scotch-Brite. Even though it's faded, we're gonna see what we can get out of it. I'm still in the process of trying to learn how to edit these videos, so I apologize if they're just in little spurts. But so far, it cost us $150 to bring her home. It cost us $68 for the fuel pump, and we're a runner. So next thing we got to do is rear brake line. I got the emergency brake adjusted so it actually holds on a hill now. And for my one friend that asked me to do a video on the fuel pump when I cut it out, I'm sorry I didn't think about doing it. There's so many videos on them doing it. But here, I'll show you what I got, just so you know. I just did a little cut. And it'll be, the center of it will be the bracket for your seatbelt release, or your belt buckle. The other thing, these pull over like this to unsnap the seat. I didn't know that, and I probably bent everything to shit and back because I didn't take the time to learn this. So there's a helpful hint right there. The other thing is, when I did my wiring, I was afraid to pull the wiring harness through the space between the tank. So what I did is I snipped the wires, and I'm going to solder them back up, and I'm going to put heat tape back on it. But the one thing I have to tell you is go slow. Just barely cut. Take a sliver each time. Don't go deep, because that's a plastic tank and you'll burn right through it. So that's the one thing I have to tell you to be cautious about when you do this. I've been a machinist for years, so I kind of know what I'm kind of doing with metal, doing metal work, and like the thickness of gauges. So I can judge a little bit better, I think. I don't know. I'm not trying to brag myself up, but take your time. It's a plastic tank. You'll cut right through it and not even know it. You'll just start smelling gas. And I didn't do that, and I'm thankful, because that is right up against the metal. I mean, it's 1/8 of an inch away. But don't be afraid of it. Just take it in small, gentle cuts with your grinder. And unfortunately, I think it's a little too thick to cut with a pair of tin snips. I tried, and it didn't work out very well. It started making a mess. So right now, until I get the title transferred with this coronavirus, all the notaries are shut down. So the car's going to sit for a while. So I'm not really worried about fixing this right this second. I still got to do a brake job on it, and I got to do a couple other things on it. But I figure, since you asked about that, I'll let you know. That's how I did it. The fuel pump itself, that ring just comes right off. Just smack it a couple times, it'll come right off. Take the lines off, snip the wires, pull the whole pump out. I had to extend the wires. I just used basically lamp cord. I'm going to go back, I'm going to do it right. But right now, I just didn't want to have the house tied up. And I wanted the car to be on its own power, because I don't want to leave it at the end of the street and have code enforcement start complaining about an abandoned car. So that's why we're going to scrub it up too, just so it looks like something that normal people own. So, all right, I'll give you another one after this is done.